It was a crisp morning in Marlow, Virginia. The kind where silence wraps around the streets like a thin veil, only interrupted by the sound of sneakers on cracked pavement and the soft padding of two German shepherds. Amara Briggs walked with a purpose, not one of destination, but of habit, of discipline. Chaos and Mercy, her canine companions, flanked her like shadows, alert but calm. She didn't dress to impress. Athletic pants, a simple gray hoodie, and a veteran capped the only silent signal of her past. People didn't usually look twice, but when they did, it wasn't recognition in their eyes. It was suspicion. Renner and Rickson saw her first. They were parked near a corner lot, nestled in their patrol car like kings of concrete, sipping burnt coffee and waiting for someone to inconvenience them. They were bored, and boredom in men like that was always dangerous. There, Rickson nodded, his eyes narrowing. Her. Renner followed his gaze. A black woman, alone. Two big dogs. No makeup. No flashy clothing. She didn't smile at them. Didn't avert her gaze either. Suspicious. Rickson grinned. Renner shrugged. Could be. Let's find out. They pulled out slowly, like lions circling prey. Amara didn't flinch. Her training forged in combat zones far from here had conditioned her muscles and mind to remain still until movement became necessary. The dogs sensed it too. Chaos glanced back once. Mercy growled low. The cruiser stopped beside her. Morning, Renner said through the open window, his tone oily. Amara nodded. Morning. Nice dogs, Rickson added, stepping out. What breeds? German shepherds. They military trained? Amara looked them both over. Her eyes didn't betray emotion, only assessment. You need something, officers? That's an interesting tone, Renner said, now fully outside the vehicle, hand resting near his belt. I'm walking. That illegal? Rickson clicked his tongue. Not all. Just never seen you around. Amara tilted her head. I live here. Renner circled slightly to the left. Rickson to the right. They were boxing her in. Amateur move. She'd trained counter-terrorists who moved with more finesse. Dogs like that, Rickson mused, can be dangerous. They're trained, and leashed. Unlike some people. Renner didn't like that. His smile tightened. You seem agitated, he said. You hiding something? That's when Rickson whistled. Sharp. Abrasive. A command meant for control. But it wasn't for Amara. Come here, boy, he said to Chaos, extending a hand. The dog didn't move. Rickson leaned in, this time pulling out jerky. Small. I don't bite. Chaos growled. Back off, Amara said, her tone calm but firm. Rickson smirked. What? Afraid you're gonna snap? You're provoking him. That's a threat, ma'am. Renner stepped closer. Maybe she's hiding contraband. These dogs might be trained to attack. That's a danger to the public. The dogs are ready now, bodies coiled like springs. Amara's heartbeat slowed. This wasn't fear. This was clarity. You're making a mistake, she said. You don't give the orders, Rickson snapped, reaching for Chaos. In a flash, the situation erupted. Chaos lunged, not to bite but to block. Rickson stumbled backward, shocked. Gun, someone yelled. A shot rang out, not from Amara. The bullet cracked into the sidewalk. Chaos yelped and retreated slightly. Amara grabbed Rickson's wrist and twisted, hard. The gun hit the ground. Her elbow followed, slamming into his temple. He collapsed instantly. Renner reached for his taser, but Chaos, regaining ground, clamped his jaws onto the device and yanked it free. Mercy circled behind, her teeth aimed low. Renner stumbled, unarmed and shouting. You crazy, get her! But it was too late. Amara didn't run. She walked straight to Rickson's vest, unhooked the body cam, and tucked it into her jacket. She snapped her fingers. Chaos. Mercy. With perfect obedience, they fell in line. By the time Renner screamed into his radio, she was gone. The fugitive. Amara disappeared into the woods on the edge of town. She knew the terrain. The trees gave cover. The undergrowth gave silence. Inside an old cabin forgotten by zoning maps and modern eyes, she cleaned Chaos's grazed shoulder and Mercy's paw. The radio in her duffel crackled. Suspect is considered armed and dangerous. Use caution. She snapped it off. She wasn't the danger. They were. The sister. Gina Briggs was an analyst. Once NSA adjacent, now private sector. But loyalty didn't end with a job title. When Amara's call came in, Gina was already seeing the news spin. Aggressive veteran attacks officers. Dogs unleashed. Suspect fled scene. No footage. No audio. No truth. I need you to pull camera feeds, Amara said. I already started. 3 hours later, Gina had the tapes. The neighbor's ring cam. The officer's deleted body cam. The radio chatter. It was clear. Amara didn't attack. She de-escalated until they escalated. But someone was pulling strings. The story wasn't just twisted. It was coordinated. The past uncovered. Detective Lee Darnell had spent a decade in internal affairs. She recognized patterns. Body cam failure? Inconsistent reports? Deleted footage? Classic cover-up. Darnell wasn't ready to indict Amara. But she wasn't ready to dismiss her either. She dug deeper. Renner's file? Too clean. His academy date didn't match the graduation photo. His assignments jumped jurisdictions with no transfers logged. And then came the name. Not Renner. Colin Renshaw. Former CIA. Black Ops. Burned asset. His entire law enforcement career? Fabricated. A cover. A new identity. But for what? Gina found the link. An operation Amara had participated in during her final SEAL deployment. One that had exposed a rogue CIA unit. A unit Renner had led. He'd lost everything. And now, he wanted revenge. The rescue. When Gina stopped responding to calls, Amara traced the burner phone's last ping, an abandoned warehouse district near the river. She moved like a shadow, chaos and mercy silent at her side. Inside, Gina was tied to a chair. One of Renner's men hovered over her with a knife. He didn't see Amara coming. She moved fast, elbow to temple, knee to sternum, knife to floor. Chaos bit down on his arm. Mercy pulled him back. Amara cut Gina loose. Are you okay? I have the files, Gina gasped. Everything. Renner's identity. The footage. It's all here. They moved fast. Amara's mission was now survival, not just for her, but for truth itself. The break-in. With Darnell now on her side, the plan was simple. Get the files into the department's secure server. Broadcast them publicly before they could be buried. Amara broke into the precinct with chaos and mercy in the dead of night. A perfect operation until it wasn't. Alarms tripped. Guards attacked. Guns drawn. Chaos and mercy defended with terrifying discipline. She reached the server. Uploaded the files. 100%. Extraction was brutal. But she got out. And the world saw. The fall. The footage spread like wildfire. Renner's arrest broadcast live. Darnell stepped into frame. Captain Renner, you are under arrest for obstruction of justice, falsification of records, and abuse of power. He didn't go quietly. But he went. Rickson confessed. Gina's research confirmed it all. Amara? Cleared of all charges. Epilogue. Months later, Amara walked the same street with chaos and mercy at her side. No patrol cars trailed her. No neighbors averted their gaze. They waved now. Darnell offered her a role. Lead investigator in the new internal reform unit. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she trained service dogs for veterans. Some wounds are visible. Others aren't. But healing comes in many forms. One morning, as she watched chaos chase mercy across a sunlit field, she smiled. The war wasn't over, but she had won her battle. And this time, the silence around her was peaceful. Not oppressive. Not watchful. Just quiet. Like justice.